Hello, everybody who should be able to hear us now. Oh my God! Yeah, I know it's been a long time. It's been a while. We're rusty. We're getting our feet again. I think it had it maybe is that true? Ooh, it's been a while. It what? Yeah. We decided that we're gonna give you some time and space. They can't. What? How is that possible? Um, I guess that works, but try talking now.
Can you hear me now, Bonark? Hi, Bonark.
Hi, Bonar. Should
I
be
don't know
able.
if
It's very strange. It says it can hear you.
Yay! Can hear me. It takes time.
I'm
Yay!
I'm sad about this. Why is this the
You
case?
can hear me now.
I know, but monitor and output. Yeah, it should all be there.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's
It's
super weird.
look. This is the tradition.
Yeah, I
The
know.
year long, we haven't managed to shake
Our
our
tradition of
tech
it being like
gremlins.
mildly technically challenging all the
And
time.
I'm kind of like sat on the floor of my bedroom as well. I'm not in my living room at the moment, so this could all go horribly wrong as well.
Oh,
Just
that's
the
super
a
weird.
rustic door in the background. I know some of
A
you might like
rustic door.
oldie English.
Yeah, see, the problem is now it's going to mix in any other desktop noises I get, which I don't really care for. Um,
There's got to be a better way to do this.
I
Like
know
someone
we
should have
can
solved this in the last
futz with
year
it at
for
some
us.
point. No,
Like I want,
no one has. It's been like actually a big problem. That people have not. I don't know. It's a big deal.
I'm gonna tweet Elon Musk right now because I
Oh
hear he
dear
likes
God.
having insane
Dear God.
crusades that no one should ever have. Well, he's just a moron. I mean, like I know he's rich and all.
You can be rich and
Why
a moron.
why would you buy Twitter for that much money? Or what are you
He
gonna do? That just looks like a big regulatory disaster to
That's what
me.
he
Like why
always
would you?
does though. He goes and he makes a fuss and tries to get like the SEC like riled up and then is
I,
like, haha, I messed
if
with
that
you
is
guys.
if that's his goal, then good on him.
Yeah,
Success.
yeah.
I mean, I personally despise him for basically that hyperloop thing is really just a shitty version of the tube, but more
Yeah.
dangerous.
Yeah, he
Us.
pretended to buy it. He kept trying to back out. Yeah, he was just screwing around, and then all of a sudden he got sucked into buying it. And now he's stuck with Twitter. Yeah, the Hyperloop was just a complete disaster. Like nobody enjoyed that at all.
We just get a train, man. Just build another train. Like I bet if he built some good quality fast trains across America, people would use them. Why doesn't he do
Well,
that? Oh no, because he's obsessed with those stupid cars. No one wants your stupid cars, Elon.
I mean,
Sorry.
some people do. A lot of people do actually. I can't
Why?
lie about that. They
Why?
like his car.
Why do you want his stupid cars? They don't come on time. They're ridiculously expensive. Like the AI doesn't really work. I mean, we already know
Oh yeah.
they're just gonna kill children. So,
Oh yeah. No, the thing with people like Tesla because Tesla made and Elon Musk didn't do it. The hardworking engineers at Tesla did it.
right. So
But like
it's a Tesla existed before Elon Musk, right?
and they made really the
Remember.
first viable electric car, the first electric car that
Yeah.
really worked. But like yeah, he didn't do that, and people like them. They're good cars. Okay, great, they're good cars. They're not the best cars, but they're good cars. People like them. They drive them. I don't know, but trains are hard in the U.S. because the U.S. is so big. That's the big problem with
But no,
trains
no,
in the
no,
U.S.
no,
The
no,
U.S. is
no,
big.
no, no. That's the reason that it's good because you've got all that space. You don't have to ask people to move. Like we have to beg people to get out of the way of the train we want to build. You can just slam it through the middle. No one's going to notice. You're not going to have
I
some NIMBY going like, "No, I don't want to live near a train." Trains. I mean, just imagine a Shinkansen straight down America,
I
East Coast
mean,
to West Coast. You'd love it. Everyone would love it.
what?
Everyone would
But
love
you keep forgetting the important part about that, which is like
it. America's just
how
stupid. Sorry, America.
how much time would it take to actually make that trip? That's the
I
question that
really,
comes out to me. How much time would it take to actually make that trip? The answer is
I
a
don't know.
while.
What, I, I mean, China can do it. If China can do it, are you gonna let yourself be beaten by China?
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Hi, Rudalor. Welcome back. I know it's been a while. It's been a
It
while. I
has
have to.
been a big year. What have we done over the last year?
Oh my
We
God.
did
All right. Do
WRC.
we want to switch to a page where we are looking at a
Yeah,
picture from?
yeah.
All right. Let me transfer over to one of our WRC pictures. Oh, Gemma's going to be behind. Um,
That,
no, the thing about
yeah.
China is China will just pay for it. They just won't care. They'll just be like, we're doing
You
it.
could pay for it. This is your infrastructure project. Don't build a wall, build a
Do
train.
you
Think of the number of
understand
people you'd have to hire to build a
that the
train.
U.S. like cannot do infrastructure project? We don't even know what that means. We had now it was a bad president. We had a president spend 4 years wailing about how they were going to super do an infrastructure promise. They an infrastructure project. They like super double triple promise. It was like you guys in Brexit all spending years being like, we got to get it done.
Oh, no, no,
It's
no. What
got
you
to
must
happen.
remember is we've got Brexit done, but also it's been ruined by Ramonas. Just as long as you remember that.
Wait,
So
Ramoners
that's what people who wanted to remain in the EU are now called, because we moan.
and
Because
moan again. You remoan.
yes, we moaned. So we're Remainers and now we're Ramonas. Whereas Brexit people are Brexiteers, because they're swashbuckling and awesome.
That is pretty cool.
Just
What's up with
just
your new prime? I'm sorry. I'm gonna dive into
Oh, right,
politics
let's
for a minute, as we never do.
put your mic on the
Yeah,
screen.
with the MI on the screen, intently being like, "What is wrong with these people?"
Hi, Katie. No, it's not. It's normally Mahjong.
It's
Sorry.
normally Mahjong. I just haven't seen
I
Gemma in a
don't
while.
we shouldn't be on Final Fantasy 14 online though.
Oh, you
That's
want to go
rude.
to Final Fantasy? Okay, let's do it.
No, we should
Let's do
be
it.
on like just chatting. We shouldn't be on that
Wait, are
that.
we not on just chatting?
I think we're on Final Fantasy 14 online now.
Oh, we could do Final. I don't know.
And that would be a little bit rude. The Discord police will come and get us.
That's the Twitch police.
Oh, the Twitch
The
police,
Twitch
yeah.
police will get us. Let me see if I can do this.
Mahjong is inherently political. I'm afraid people who like Mahjong tend to be politically minded, I think. I'm not sure if that's because...
Sometimes
Yeah.
there's table politics in Mahjong. Oh my god, this Twitch thing is so confusing to me. How do I set our stuff? Oh, here we go. I can set our. Nope, that just takes me away. Anyway.
So if you're here for the Mahjong, this is a picture of the first World Reacher Championship.
Yes, Hiroshi Yamai.
First World Reacher champion, not the championship. He's Hiroshi Yamai, and he's looking very intently. If you look really close into his eyes, you can see his hand reflected. The table's reflecting back in his eyes.
How do I set anything?
That's the
on
kind of
this
cool thing
Twitch
you only
page?
get when you're Japanese and your eyes are nice and black.
Is that? Can I not do that? Is it illegal?
What's that?
I don't think my eyes
You
can
must-
really be reflected. But
Well, his are nice and shiny.
yeah,
I
he's
don't know.
got the whole thing. I'm trying to find out how I determine what we're doing. How can I set the stream game?
I care not for politics, only Kokshi. Kokshi. I'm going to have an unpopular opinion, which is not to do with politics. My popular opinion is I don't think... I slightly judge people who think Kokshi is the best Yakuman. Do you not think? It's like the easiest Yakuman. It's telegraphed. I don't know. Kokshi's the Tanya of Yakuman. Open Tanya.
The mirror in that van. Yeah, there we go. I don't know. I think Kokshi's not easy, but the thing about Kokshi is...
I'm not saying it's easy. I'm just saying it's, if you're going to have a favorite Yakuman, that's going to be like, I don't know, it's just set your sights higher. That's all I'm going to say.
I don't know. I don't think it's about setting... I think...
It's like, I want to win the lottery, but I just want to win $500,000. Like, if you're going to win the lottery, dream about winning the 10 million.
Well, I happen to... Well, that's a separate Vienna happening we can talk about in a little bit. But the thing with Koshi, right? Like, it's easy to go for because you know exactly what to do. Like, if you're going for Koshi, you're just going for Koshi. There's no other path presenting itself to you along. Suanko, actually, even though it's a fairly common Yakuman, has that awkward moment in the middle where you're like, maybe Chitoi? Maybe just call it out in Toy. Like, you have to make some decisions along that road. But Kokshi's just like, no, we're doing Kokshi. It's happening. We're just doing it. And then at some point you decide, well, I'm not doing it. And my hand's like all safe tiles anyway. So ha ha ha, unless someone got really clever and noticed you're doing Kokshi. So like...
I mean, yeah, Pez, you're right. It is really the only Yakuman you can kind of...
try to make happen.
Yeah, I mean, the others kind of just sort of fall in your lap. But yeah.
A little bit.
Anyway, so just to establish what we're doing on the stream today is we're going to go through some photos from previous WRCs. Because me and Dave have not had a debrief from the Vienna event yet, so I thought we would do that.
So yeah,
but just before, I just want to hear what your opinion is on Sunak before we move on.
Oh, I just don't know what he's doing. He shows up and he's just like, we quit all climate stuff. We are done with it, and we're not even going to show up.
No, he hasn't said
I
that.
thought
That's
you
not fair.
withdrew from all these
He's not
climate
going. No,
things.
no, no. No. We're sending someone else. We're just not sending him. Because to be
Oh,
fair to him, the country is burning. You know, so
okay.
he's
No, that's
sending.
actually not so bad. If he said he
No,
personally isn't going and will send someone else. Okay, I
no.
misread that then.
We have a minister particularly for the. Is it COP27 now or 2027 now? Right?
One of
Yeah.
these.
So yeah. Anyway, we have a minister dedicated for that. So I'm okay with him going like, look, I'm sending someone to do that, and they're dedicated. That's their job. So I'm
No,
gonna
that's actually,
handle.
you know what? That's totally legit. And okay, I get some weird like you're insulting. You're not giving the proceedings as much clout by not showing up, but that's definitely not the
Mm.
same thing. Maybe I
I
just
mean,
confused him with the U.S. politician being like, we no longer believe in the climate.
the real insult here is that King Charles, King Charles, that's another thing that happened this year. King Charles wanted to go, but he's been told not to go by our government, which is a bit, I don't know.
Ooh, that's not good.
It's been so long. I know we've not had a Vienna debrief. Right? Okay, we've done the British politics because it's a good thing we weren't doing this a week ago because I had a lot of words to say last week
Did you?
about British politics. Yeah.
Oh dear. Oh no. Oh no. I'm sorry. I'm busy. I'm posting our advertisements, telling everyone we're
Oh,
back
he's
in
doing
action.
advertisement. Okay. I'll yes. Yeah. So you're
Oh my God,
glad that I
Bonar,
had.
thank you, thank you, Bonar, for taking care of that for me. I super appreciate it. Very kind of you. I'm neglectful, and you have filled in. You have
Yeah,
my
so
thanks.
basically, I mean, the reason that we've had like this kind of sabbatical, let's call it sabbatical,
Yeah, it's a
garden leave.
sabbatical. That's very
A
nice. That's a very nice
sabbatical,
way to
right?
put it.
It was nice. So, Dave came over and it was all still, and then, I guess there was more COVID over the winter, right? And I just spent November, December, January going, are we going to do Vienna? Is Vienna happening this time? Is this the year that we get to hold it? And then suddenly, I think it was in February, March, it was like, yeah, we're going to hold it. And then, of course, we had to do like 12 to 18 months of prep. It was just compacted into like 6 months. An absolute nightmare.
It was interesting. It was a very interesting and exciting time for everyone.
That's the way
Um,
to describe it, yes.
well, again, having had my experience with this for 2017, I did what I could to be helpful. Hopefully, I was more helpful than unhelpful, and
Definitely.
there's a lot to do. But yeah, so let's I think we can talk a little bit about these images we have here. So this
Mm,
is again this is so in 2014 in
hmm
Paris was the first WRC, and
hmm
this gentleman is the winner of that WRC, Hiroshi Yamai, that many of you may have
hmm
met. Um, what was he a bit of a surprise to win in 2014? I seem to recall.
Yeah, he was a bit of a surprise. Yes. Um, yeah, he's kind of always there. He's always been like a stalwart in the background, but he's never been, one of their big stars. He's
Oh,
never been a Seto Kuma or a Taki or anyone like that.
so that was kind of his
He is
breakout a
in.
little bit.
It was a bit, yeah. He has kind of made a real name for himself as the first world champion, and it has kind of been a good forum for professional players, at least, who may not be being selected, by M League or
Hmm.
Konami Fight Club to kind of, it's a very meritocratic forum for them, and they can win on their skills. So that's been a really positive thing for them. It's not just sometimes I laugh that they're all just coming over for a bit of a jolly, but it's not it's not always it's not entirely true. Yeah, a lot of them see it as a chance for them to break out and make sort of an impression.
And I think for me, at
So
least, like on a personal, for me in 2014, it was there were a
mm,
lot of big names there, obviously, and so yeah, seeing someone that I hadn't heard so much about win, it was really exciting. Being like, oh hey, and I guess
yeah,
I'm seeing this through like rose-colored glasses because since
yeah,
2014, having worked with Mr. Yamai a lot more and like got to know him, but like I think he's a really great guy. Like I have a lot of wonderful,
oh,
positive
it's
feelings about
lovely.
him
Yeah,
personally, and so obviously looking back, I'm really excited that like, oh, that was his first big break. He really
yeah.
made it to the top of the pack there.
And I think outside of Japan, right, we only ever hear about the stars, the Nikaido sisters, the Satokumas, the people who are, give it good for the camera.
Yeah, yeah.
And sometimes we miss the opportunity to see those really talented players who are just not in the background, but you know what I mean. They're just playing the game.
Yeah, yeah.
They're not putting out a photo book. They're not doing all these other kind of work. They're just playing mahjong.
It's
So
hard to get a media breakout, like, and then once you have people who are big in media, you're gonna wanna, people want the people who are it's a cycle. It's a
yeah,
cycle of
and
popularity.
WRC is a little bit more meritocratic than maybe some of their events because they seed a lot of their feature players are seeded into their big tournaments often.
Mm.
and that's, I mean, that's why Taikyosen is fun, because you do get people kind of rising up more like a sort of poker tournament.
Where you get it's a bit more again
Yeah,
like a meritocratic happening.
exactly. Whereas, I mean, if you're playing A League, I mean, you have spent years grinding your way up to get there in the, and it's tough, right?
Yeah.
So WRC, I think it's a nice kind of addition to the, not just the international mahjong scene, but to the Japanese, the scene in Japan as well.
All right, so let's take a look at our next photo. So wait, let's just to center this. This was Mr. Yamai at 2017. This picture's from 2017 in Las
Yeah.
Vegas, and him playing very.
So these were all taken by Jamie Grant of Farpoint Productions. If you might have seen him at events before,
Yeah.
he's
Probably
wonderful.
chatted with some of you.
Yeah.
So our next picture. When was it? What was this?
When was this? This was your tournament.
Yeah, this is the New York. This was the North American Open that was held in New York in 2018. I believe this might have been the final table.
Yeah, I didn't want to out you, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's
we have a
featuring one of our viewers. Do you think the fact that next WRC is in Japan will give it more, and the quotes are massive, legitimacy?
That's a good question. I think in some respects, yes. In some respects, the opposite. I think I'll say the counterpoint, I guess, is that it's supposed to be an international event, right? And that was always why we didn't take it to Japan first, because they play tournaments all the time there. It wouldn't have been special. Whereas to play in France, play in Vegas, and then play in Vienna, that made it special. That made it interesting. It's contribution to their community as well as our own. They will give us more legitimacy. Yeah, it's obviously going to give us more visibility to amateurs in Japan, which I think is something we have struggled with. Is kind of connecting our players with amateur players in Japan. I think our players have been very kind of focused on, I want to sit on the table with a professional, which is quite understandable. You're going to really want to test your skills, but there are a bunch of really, really highly skilled amateur Japanese players, and I really hope we can kind of start getting that network built, so that people aren't just always trying to network with professionals, which isn't always the most successful thing, but actually building connections between America, Europe, and Japan, grassroots connections. If that makes sense. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah. I think it's. I mean, I kind of agree with everything you said because I'm just a follower, but I think it's interesting because I do feel like for a lot of people in the West, there's a lot of legitimacy. For a lot of people in the West, the idea that this is the one in Japan is like a big deal. Hi there.
I think it's gonna. Yeah, I think
I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, but hello.
I think it's going to be. I think qualifying into the 2025 event is going to be tough for the Westerners. Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of.
It's going to be tough for the Japanese people as well. I mean, we've always, and I think this is a point that people have picked up with me before, is that JPML are overly represented maybe in the WRC, and that wasn't originally supposed going. Sorry, how am I going to word this? So. The original event was supposed to be in 2020. Actually, it was a much better mix, but COVID really has damaged a lot of, JPML is just an organization with a bit more money. So they were managed to protect their players from the damage that COVID did. And, all of these groups have their own priorities. And for whatever reason, getting people to Vienna wasn't a priority. We had a few people drop out because they actually caught COVID before the event as well, who were not JPML, which was unfortunate. But I'm really hoping that having it on their soil and they won't have to spend so much money to travel and pay for the hotels will mean that we'll be able to have better representation of I'm not sure what the English translations are, Kyokai and Mew and stuff like that.
Yeah, if I recall right, 2014 and 2017 specifically, because I guess I was most involved in that, had pretty broad representation.
Yeah, and there's no quotas for the organizations. We just throw it out there. In fact, JPML have pulled their players back when it's been obvious that the other leagues have wanted to put players in. It's
I guess if I'm doing interview questions, like, do you feel like that has in any way helped foment interleague kind of cooperation, interleague kind of chat?
I think initially, like in 2014, it was quite a big deal that we had the big leagues representing in 2014,
Mm-hmm.
which is awesome. And some of these old kind of beefs, I say beefs, tensions have dissipated as the years gone by, and I hope the WRC's contributed to that as well.
Okay.
I think they all live quite in harmony now, to be honest.
I'm sure there's this rival, the kind of good rivalry that, like, I'm Team A, you're Team B, rah rah. Not like,
Yeah,
if we meet each other in
exactly,
the street, we might
exactly.
fight.
Yeah, don't
So
don't go down to
Daisuke's,
Kabukicho when the Jansos
yeah,
hit the
Daisuke's streaming M League. All right,
Yeah, he is. I think
he's doing an
I'm not sure
announcement.
if he's allowed. I'm not sure if he's allowed to do that. So we'll
Oh,
keep that one under
I'm gonna
quiet.
pretend I don't know about that. I love Daisuke. I'm not gonna get in trouble.
Yeah,
I have
that's
no idea
because
whether or not he's
no,
streaming
no.
M League.
I know there's been that was one thing that's also happened whilst we've been gone is that was it Abema were allowing the foreigners could watch the streams, but then because
Oh yeah.
they got this theme tune which the rights issues didn't allow them to stream it. So
Oh no,
I think
you didn't
people are
say
getting
anything wrong.
some. You didn't say anything wrong, no.
No, 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 no.
But I think people are using some get arounds to get there. The thing I liked about this WC is it kind of broke the Japanese players' aura, and that we as Westerners seem to be closing the gap. You are closing the gap in mahjong skill. I mean, it was insane. Look how many people we got on those final tables. That would have been impossible in 2014. In 2017, it was a big deal, whereas in 2022, it was more like, of course we got these people here. Yeah.
By the way, hi, Flamu. Good to meet you. And yeah, one of the things that I've been saying to people repeatedly, which I think is really, really cool, is like in 2014, it was like, I think we got a couple people above the 32 cut, and that was it.
Yeah.
And then it was just done. And like all the finals was like it was Japanese players having a great time with each other. And then in 2017, we had a couple non-Japanese people who really made it up there close to the top lane, and was one of them. And then in 2017, we had this. Oh, no, I'm sorry, 2022.
Yeah.
Now we had this amazingly diverse, almost 50-50 field at the top, and that's just awesome. I think that's really, really great. It was so exciting to see.
I would like to add that the way that the WRC is structured actually is weighted against the non-Japanese players, because the Japanese players don't play each other until after the cutoff. So it's much easier, arguably, for them to get into that cutoff than it is for the Westerners. So the fact that if any of you got into the top 32, that was already a massive deal.
Yeah, it's really nice. Nice is such an understatement, but I feel like it's really positive just to be able to see how much progress has been made in terms of skill, in terms of growth, in terms of like tournament experience and tenacity. That's one of the little like hidden things that people don't always give themselves credit for. But, like, being able to play well for 3 days solid, like, that's hard. That's hard, and people have gained that endurance and that skill, and it's really awesome to see. Let's move on in the slideshow before Twitch kicks us for not even. Jamie sent this over, but I think these folks.
These are not our folks.
American mahjong
yeah, this
players.
is American
These are not
mahjong.
WRC folks, so I'm gonna skip them. Sorry, nice American mahjong players. Is this a video? Did he send me a video?
Oh, this is a video. I really like this video.
Yeah, those folks are NMGF. Can we play it while we hear it? Let's see what happens. If I click play. Oh, we got a video. It's a very short video.
It's a very short video. It's more like
Google's having a troubling time.
Google's having a moment
of opening the video because it hates it.
Oh, but anyway, so I can tell you what was happening. So we had unfortunately we couldn't get I think in 2017 we had a pro sitting on each table and kind of offering some teaching points to everyone else. Fortunately, that wasn't possible because we had multiple actual and imagined COVID outbreaks. So we didn't get people able to come down and sit with people for those reasons. So we did have some though, and Jen was an absolute star, and she was running around helping people interpret between the two languages. Actually, of good interest is Jen has started up her own Twitch stream, and she is streaming really regularly. She's not always streaming mahjong, but she's often streaming mahjong.
Restream mahjong, Jen.
Yeah.
Is Daisuke? So do we know Daisuke's Twitch handle?
He's not doing it on Twitch. He's doing it on Discord.
Oh.
It's a private.
Oh, Emily on Discord. I see.
Yeah, wait a minute. I don't know how to invite people. No, I'm not on it. I can't tell you how to do it. Sorry.
Okay, we can find out. We can advertise in the future. Again, I was super support Daisuke. There's nothing bad about Daisuke. I love Daniel, but okay, so we can support. I'm gonna skip forward because Google's having
Yeah.
trouble with this. What do we got next? There's another video. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna skip these videos. I don't feel like videos are gonna do very
Oh
well
yeah,
today.
that was like a little slow-mo video. That
Yeah,
was a
slow-mo
yeah.
pan. Um, where is the? You might know what you would know where this is
This
because
is the
here you
UK.
are.
Yeah. This is where am I there?
You're in the back right corner. I'm pretty sure
Okay.
that's
Oh
you.
yes, that's me. Oh, look at me. That is that. You know what? These are not all WRC photos. We should
They're
have
not
thought
all
about this.
WRC
This is
photos.
this is a UK Open. If you're ever interested in joining us, it's
Damn
a really
jumps.
nice venue. Gemma
Honestly.
jumps. Yeah.
All right, you want to?
Ah,
We're gonna skip forward to WRC stuff
yeah,
again. Okay, we'll skip
yeah.
forward.
It's nice.
This is
It's
more of the
nice.
UK
We
Open,
have
I
really
think.
good desserts at the UK
It's a
Open.
nice
Really good
tent. A
desserts.
big.
It's not. It's actually a rugby building.
It's a rugby. Oh, how interesting.
I like this photo. This is from
This is a
2017.
2017 photo because it's got the 2017 logo in the background.
Yeah,
It's from
I think
the
it
step and
gives
repeat.
the step and repeat. I think it gives you a good idea of the sort of, and this is the sort of imagery that the Japanese are taking back with them.
Mm.
And I think it's important to note that this was 2017 before M League.
No, I think M League had just started. I think M League was very fresh.
Yeah,
It was very
it
new.
must have been
I'm pretty sure
super
it started
fresh.
already in
When
2017.
did M League start? You know, I wish I should know that.
With the quality food in
Yeah.
the UK Open. Is this true? I remember going to an event where we had some kind of beans.
I cannot. Yes, I'm not talking about that.
Okay. Okay.
Generally, UK food is bad, but we have good desserts.
Mm. Whom is
Good
this?
puddings.
Whom is this? Because I don't know offhand.
Oh my god.
You have to know.
What?
This is your job to know.
I know you've embarrassed me, and I want to
no.
say Aoi-san, but I can't. I can't be sure.
Well, it's only
But
been
anyway,
5 years.
this is the kind of if you're going, oh, what does Gemma want from WRC? I want this more kind of imagery. I want I want people to be able to stand in front of a step and repeat and feel a bit special.
A bit good about themselves. Like have a bit of a fancy moment.
Yeah,
on here at WRC,
because M League is definitely that sort of esports vibe. And WRC is gonna, I want it to be sort of a
different types of parties.
a networking vibe as well as the competition, if that makes sense.
That does make sense.
Yeah.
Oh, your favorite.
I don't know. So, Dave, who chose the entertainment for 2017?
All right, you can't do a WRC in Vegas without an Elvis impersonator.
I know.
You can't do it. It's illegal.
Dave was procrastinating, and he was like, I don't know, should we order it? Should we book him? And I was just like, to the party plan, I was just like, just book him. Don't ask Dave anymore. It'll be fine.
To be fair, it was fine. This guy showed up to party, and he
And he played Mahjong, right?
I think he did, yeah.
He did. After he did his little set, and he was kind of walking around having photos taken, and then he was like, I'll sit down and play.
Yeah, people were playing with Elvis, and the reception was great.
I don't know if he knew American Mahjong, which he might very well do. I mean, this is the kind of, I'm pretty sure, no offense to Jewish ladies, old Jewish ladies, but I'm pretty sure this is the kind of entertainment that old Jewish ladies might go to on their days off. From Mahjong.
He was awesome. I enjoyed him. He brought the right energy. He was just like, that's really the heart of an entertainer, is being excited and out there and ready to go.
And this perfectly segues from what I said before, that I want WRC to be the competition and also a fun party.
And also the fun party.
Yeah.
What do we got next? We got this is actual WRC 2017 in the room. So NMJL does love Vegas Elvis. So we had to divide. We divided the room into two sections. I think it was for scheduling purposes, right? To keep
because we were
240 people. It was giant. It was enormous. Yeah. I somewhere have a picture of me panning through both rooms where I'm just like, this is just insane how many people are here all to play in a tournament. And again, this is 5 years ago also. There were so many, the whole scene was just smaller.
Yeah.
And so getting 240 people in one room, two rooms, I guess, but in one place all to play. And so in order to manage the flow of people, we separated up into two groups so people could go to lunch a little separately and get snacks a little separately, and it wasn't 200 people tromping around. The documentary is not a never was. It is a not yet. is how I
Yes,
like to put it.
it's
We
it's
got
an
a lot of
ongoing an
footage.
ongoing concern if
Yeah,
you're an
it's an
accountant.
ongoing concern. It will
I
eventually
think the
happen,
thing
I
the
hope.
the documentary again, COVID happened.
Yeah.
Like Jamie was crazily filming everything, and he was really starting to put stuff together, and then bang, COVID just whacked everything out again.
Yeah, it
Um,
really, really shut us down, unfortunately.
and it's not like you can pick up where you left off, right? You have to basically start from many, many steps back on these kinds of things. You have to reconnect. And lots of people left the
Oh, there's
scene.
the Megadeth.
Yeah. So
Don't even. Don't
what happened with
even.
Megadeth?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Well, it happened in a room like this one. It might have literally been this room. If I'm gonna tell, I feel like everyone's probably heard the Megadeth story. So chat, you can howl if I'm retelling the Megadeth story that you've already heard. But I believe it was day 2. And so we were at the Palms in Las Vegas, the Palms Casino, which was off.
Mm.
It's off the strip. It's a little bit out of the way, and they have a bunch of different venues there. And like one of the performers I had booked for that, so at the time we were there was Megadeth, which I didn't really think much of. They have a performer booked. That's all fine. And so we're sitting there, and when I done my extensive negotiations with the hotel about lots of things, all of which they did not necessarily do. One of the things that they assured me was that like that the performances wouldn't interfere with what we were doing. I'm like, we have these ballrooms, we're going to be playing this game. We need it to be reasonably quiet. We need it to be reasonably, undisturbed. And they were like, oh, yes, sure, sure. Nothing should overlap with that all the time. All the other stuff we're doing is way off in the evening, and you'll be done by then, and it'll be fine. So, great, fine, great. Day 2, after all the normal, just like stuff that happens when you run an event. Was it day 1?
Mm.
Day
It was
1?
day two. No, it was day two. It was day
I'm pretty
two.
sure it was day 2. I'm pretty sure it was later on because I think day 1 had its own nightmares, but not that. But at some point, um, as I'm endlessly wandering around trying to make sure everything's going okay, and Gemma's sitting and playing, having a great time, just sitting and playing mahjong, not a care in the world. She's abandoned me. Um, I hear loud music, and I'm outside, and I'm like, what? Why is there really loud music playing? What is going on? And I realize it must be Megadeth warming up in their venue, which I later find out is directly below the ballroom. And I'm sitting here thinking, well, if I'm hearing this in the hall, is it okay in there for the players? Because I'm thinking maybe it's echoing like up and around, maybe it's really not a problem. And so I bust in, so you can see those exit doors on the far side. I like bust into the room through those exit doors, and it is louder in the room. It is coming directly up through the floor. It is like shaking
It's
tables a
like
little. It's like
vibrating, yeah.
notably vibrating the tables. And I'm just like, I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, like, what am I going to do about this? And then I look across the room and I see Gemma. And Gemma looks and she sees it, she sees I've busted. Yeah, she just like throws her hands in the air. And I just also throw my hands in the air and turn and run. And so I go running down to the concert venue and desperately trying to find anyone to deal with this situation. And I eventually find like the assistant hotel, like manager of the hotel, and I'm just like, what is going on? We were, your promises never happened, blah, blah, blah. And then like the band it wasn't the actual manager, but it was like the local managers from
Yeah.
Megadeth come out, and we get in this big screaming fight about how like, they're like, well, we need to warm up. And I'm like, well, you can't warm up now. You're not supposed to warm up. And they promised me you wouldn't warm up, and the manager's like, well, I don't know, maybe we can make it work out or something. It's a whole to do for like 15 minutes. And Jamie, of course, is like gleefully filming all of this.
He's
And
always there when something
yeah,
terrible
he's
has
got his
happened.
camera on all of
He's
this.
there in the corner, and you're like, oh, Jamie.
And eventually we managed to convince them that they can wait a couple hours to finish, just to start their warm-ups after all of this, because we were promised by the hotel, basically leveraging the hotel to be like, they promised us this event would not get screwed up. And then Jamie goes and tries to get an interview with Megadeth proper, but can't because their media manager isn't on hand to authorize it, which is a little disappointing for him. And so then we were able, finally the music stops and we are able to complete the games without that. But it was, that's my, I had a screaming fight with Megadeth story, which I got out of all of that. And I remember I then bought some tickets to Megadeth. I gave some tickets to Megadeth to my friends. And weren't we going to give Megadeth tickets to Kuroki? I seem to remember hearing that he was a big fan.
Yeah, because he was playing really badly, and then when the Megadeth started up, he started playing really well, and he was like, "More Megadeth." I'm gonna interject. How long do we normally stream for? Because I'd forgotten this
Usually
as
2 hours.
well.
We do a 2 hour stream
I might
usually.
not be able to do 2 hours today. I'm
What? Well,
sorry.
it's our first back.
Yeah.
So first of all,
I
for
know.
everyone, we promise we're back. We're back in action. So if we have to cut a little early, they might cut a little early today, but we'll be back. And I might even do that thing I always promise to do and occasionally stream some games late at night or something.
No,
When
you
I'm, when
never
I'm
do that,
bored
Dave. You
and
never do
lonely.
that. No, because the other thing that happened the last year is obviously I had a kid, so
Yeah, that. I wasn't going to bring it up because
someone's due for bedtime.
yeah, I figured that it would lower your appeal here on Twitch if people knew. So I'm just keeping it secret.
I don't care if people look. The follower count just descends. Look,
Yeah,
I know that's what you're
Your
here
poor
for.
girl Amaranth. I don't know if anyone
I
here was
know.
around for the era of Gemma's love affair with Amaranth.
I mean, I don't know what to make of Amaranth. I know. Thank you. He's a
I
lovely kid, by the way. Yeah.
I will say I hope she is well for given that
So
whole
what is
thing
the
about her.
status of the documentary? Um, Amaranth, I hope she's well,
Yes,
obviously, but
yes.
also she's rich. I'm sure it'll be fine for her.
Well, there was a whole scandal with her husband potentially abusing her and all that stuff, and I don't know any details or
Yeah.
truths about it, but I just hope that she's well and that
No,
she's not in a bad
no,
situation.
yeah. But no, so Jamie was in Vienna filming again, and I
Mm-hmm.
think he's got some more things planned to film next year.
Yeah.
So I
We're
mean,
still plugging
the
away.
documentary's taken different turns, and it's because Jamie's from the outside and he's sort of come into our community, and he keeps finding new things that are interesting. So I'm imagining it's going to be like a Tiger King style at the end of this, or
At least, can I have the classic line of "I am never going to financially recover from this"? Because
are you sure you didn't say that?
I feel like I was saying that the whole time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I said at one point I'm never going to emotionally recover from this.
It was that first night when we weren't sure if the whole event was going to collapse, and I was just looking at my kneecaps, being like, you know how much money I'm going to owe to a casino? You know what happens to people who owe large amounts of money to a casino? Sure do like walking. Better get some in while I can.
Oh, that's right, because there was a massive gun massacre. Oh God.
Shouldn't say that while laughing.
I'm sorry, but it was just awful.
It was the
just
worst.
It
was
was just constant awfulness. Oh my days.
Yeah, for those of you who don't remember the dates, right before the 2017 event was that massive shooting in Vegas. It happened the night that I flew in, and we had
because you were delayed as well, weren't you?
Yeah.
Because I was
worst.
woken up by my phone ringing and I was like, oh my God. And then someone said there'd been a shooting in Las Vegas. And sorry, America. I was a bit like, well,
Well, you don't think it was,
and then,
you think it was normal level of crime, which is still bad, but you think it was like a normal interpersonal situation.
But I've been woken up and I was like, okay, I'm going to get a drink. And I pulled the curtains in my hotel room. And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, that's a lot of red and blue lights. and then slowly it dawns on me as I'm checking, like, oh my God, this is happening. This is a thing that's happening right now.
Big thing, yeah.
And then Dave, I guess, because the poor victims and stuff ran onto the airport, right? And then because Dave's in the air, and so they couldn't land the planes.
Yeah, I couldn't land the plane for hours, and then everything was. It was. I mean, forgetting my personal inconvenience, it was just.
Worst. And you know what? It's even the day after. These poor people that were working. Vegas is not a big town; it's a small town.
Yeah.
And we were trying to work with these people, and to their credit, they were still trying to do their jobs.
Yeah.
They've been affected. They knew people who were there. They knew people who'd been impacted, and it was I don't know. I felt just awful constantly asking them for anything. I was like, you need to go to bed.
It was just real tough.
Lie down.
Yeah, everyone needed to just take a break and sit down, and whew.
Yeah.
Fun
anyway,
times.
so yeah, that didn't happen again, luckily.
All right, let's see what else we got here.
Yeah.
This was set up. This is Vegas setup because I know this carpet. This is just
Yeah. Do you know what's funny? I thought this was really light and bright, but now I compare it to what happened in 2022. This looks really quite dull.
Yeah, it's a little dark looking.
But it was newly refurbished just before we went in, though. So it was.
Many things were furbished and then furbished again. Oh, we have excited players and people coming into the hall for the first time. I know some of these folks.
Yeah.
Everyone. Oh, there's. I think is that me? Is that actually me back there?
You look like you got your mouth open, which
Yeah,
doesn't
it
seem like a
might be
thing
me,
you
but
do.
what? I have not
Like,
shut my mouth in
no,
years.
no. Sorry, it looks open in joy, which
Oh yeah, that's not a thing I do.
it
That's
does not
weird.
feel like you've done that.
That's
No.
weird.
Yeah.
Let's see now. This is vague. Whom are these gentlemen? I feel like I kind of know
They're
them.
JPMLers, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, having a good time. Dave
Yeah.
be like. Dave never be
Do you know,
like.
the Japanese always turn up really smart, though.
Yeah, no, they look good. They look happy. They look psyched. They're like checking everything out.
Yeah.
Let's see what we
They
got.
do
Another
look
few
like
kids. Four,
they're still in the bubble economy, though.
4, 5, 6, 8. This is not a bad hand.
Nice
That's a
man. Yeah.
chun that just got drawn.
Oh, is it?
It
Right.
looks like it's probably a chin that just got drawn. This is pretty.
See, I'm not sure I like these kinds of shots he does because I don't like the way the end of the hand is also out of focus.
Someone's having fun on the motorcycle. Oh, we got
For the
that.
9 pin.
We got that classic one hand.
Oh, look, that's Dasuke.
That is, it's young Dasuke and his.
Yeah, I know. Look at him. He's so young and
He's
beautiful.
so young. 5 years ago, Dasuke.
He hadn't moved to Japan yet then either.
No,
he
he
hadn't
was
had
just
his
he was
soul
just
crushed by
dedicated.
becoming professional.
Oh, poor young Dasuke.
I don't know. I always feel sad for people. I mean, it happened to all of the professionals who join, I'm sure. But we all join with this like, oh, we're gonna make it. We're gonna be so good, and then you enter the machine that is prodom.
I mean, I'm just imagining it's just the volume of gameplay. You just play and play and play and play and play.
Yeah, and really, I think again, this is kind of one of these misconceptions: is that people think that there is like a really transparent ladder to how you kind of develop yourself, but it's not. It's pretty opaque, and you've got to be pretty self-motivated to kind of make an impression on the scene. Daniel, obviously Daniel, Jen, and Garth all have that. I didn't, which is why I'm back here now.
Oh, the magic. I don't know what the Magic Sands. Oh my god, there's a fly here, and I don't care for it. It needs to go away. The Magic Sands meme Dasuke. I don't know what the Magic Sands meme Dasuke suit, but I'd be curious to find out if you
I know we need to hang out on Daniel's channel.
Yeah, we need to get it. I mean, yeah, I think one of the interesting things is like if you get into that mode where you are just grinding games forever and ever, like it kind of like emotionally deadens you a little bit. Like the awesome games you realize are and the terrible games. Like the awesome and terrible games become more visibly the outliers because you just play so much.
Yeah, I mean it's and also it's just it's just not an easy way. I mean, most people have real careers, but they have they don't just play mahjong, unless you're an M League and even then, I mean, if you get to M League, you make it, you quit your job so you can be M League full time, and then next year they drop you. This is stressful, man.
I'm looking at this picture. Yeah, I think that's actually him at WRC 2017.
Let me have a look at him. Yes, that is, and that's a Jamie photo.
It's a Jamie photo. Oh wow.
Yeah, for sure.
It's fame for Daniel. Oh, that's awesome. This is a fine. Oh god, these final sheets that we had everyone do. I still, for the record, have WRC 2017 in my house. I have every sheet from every table in my house.
You don't have every sheet because I have the final one for reasons.
Oh yeah, you have the very final one. I forgot about that. But I remember going through all of it really carefully, and then afterwards being like, I'm gonna go through every sheet again and make sure it all adds up. And I will say, to everyone's credit, because every player takes part in this, to everyone's credit, we had a WRC with no mathematical mistakes.
No, I hate the sheet. The sheet is bullshit, and I forgot how much I hated it until 2022, and the sheet came back in front of me, and I'm like, oh my god, this thing again. And you would have thought, and this just goes to show how little power I actually have over most things nowadays. But yeah, I just don't understand why we have to write, oh, I had started off with 30. Everyone knows we started off with 30. Like, just print it on there. If you're if you're determined to put that number on, just print it on there. Anyway, I've got a lot of problems with that sheet.
We'll iterate on it. We'll iterate on it, but it's a good memory for me now, just because it's like, it reminds me of this event.
Apart from that, it's not terrible. I just think it could be we could just make it just a lot cleaner, a lot fewer numbers. That's all.
Yeah.
Test your mental arithmetic a little bit more than I already do.
Indeed. Oh, Las Vegas. Welcome.
I'm glad you want to come to 2025, people. I'm glad.
Yeah, no, we'll just take everyone. We'll just road trip on over to Japan. Just get a truck. Oh, hi, Taps. I owe you a great thanks, by the way. Um, which pardon me, which I'll explain. Oh, these are the final hand sheets.
The Orla. So this is
Horas, yeah.
something we did. We were the first ones to do this at 2017,
I
right?
think so. I always want to be a
Yeah,
little careful saying things like first, but I know it was very, very early. It might have been the first time people did this sort of thing.
yeah. If it wasn't the first time I'd done it at an event just before, um, yeah, like and I think it really improved people's play personally because it gets
I
them
think it
thinking
put the
about the point
spotlight
difference.
on things that people weren't necessarily fixating on. I mean, they should have been in that, like, what am I doing in last? Where am I going? What do I need to get done? And I think people have taken that lesson and now pay
Because I
more
mean,
attention to that in a general sense going forward.
yes, I mean this was definitely a problem identified in 2014 when it comes to, we don't just think about the format and all that. I look at how are players reacting to the format, how, where are they not performing the way I'd hope they perform. And one of the things we noticed was that whether, Westerners were very excited and they just wanted to win a hand, and they stopped thinking at points, or what do I need to win
Mm.
to get myself to second or first.
Yeah, yeah. And
So,
again, I think people who are experienced and skilled know how important this is, and I think this put a bit of a spotlight on it for people who were kind of like
yeah,
learning or paying
but
attention, or even just stressed out being in a big event and
and
not
we have
being
to
used
remember
to
in
it.
Japan, you're usually on auto tables anyway, so you can see it.
You can just
So
see
they
it
don't
right
even
away. Yeah.
think about it anymore. So to have that, even if it's just for the final, the OLAS, I think it's made our game much better. So
Oh yeah,
I
for
hope
sure.
you use it in your events if you've not got auto
Invented the compass.
tables.
I wouldn't
I
say
invented
invented. I
them.
mean, to be fair, like the compass is basically just the centerpiece of an auto table, which had been,
Mm.
invented way back in the day. But we did kind of make this handwritten tool to be useful. Is there a quality?
Well, I think they're
So
talking about the Amos compass actually, because Amos have
yeah,
now made a little plastic one, right?
yeah,
But
yeah. No,
then
I know.
they don't
That's what I
write
was
on
referring
it,
to.
do they? They don't write on it.
True, the Amos compass doesn't really have a score keeping capability innately to it, so this is a little.
So our paper and pen is still better.
It's just better. It's just better.
Like my
Qualification
train's
process
better than
2024.
just.
There is not yet a qualification process, but there is a scheduled meeting in a couple days to start hammering that out. And so as this starts coming together, I'll be very, very happy to talk about it with people as we come up with something. Um, Again, as always, those of you who've heard me talk about this before will hear me say the exact same thing again. The goal in the US is to have something that is broad, that is inclusive, that is fair, that makes sure everyone has an equal shot to get into WRC 2025. Again, expect more news on that in the coming weeks, but it is in the works, and it is something that we expect to get together well in time
And I
for everyone to participate.
and I think from my perspective as the president, I'm hoping that we're going to sort of have we started moving towards qualifiers, right? And I'm hoping we can have a broader mix of actual qualification events this time. Um,
Just so I'm understanding, if we don't come up with a qualification process, it's WRC selects, right?
well, what happened for 2022, which happened in 2019 now, but we remember we had like a little kind of
We had
I
have
tried
not,
to
yeah.
I tried to get people who represented the different groups and clubs of America, and I collected everyone's names who were interested, and I said, well, look, here are the names. How would you envisage the best to divvy this up? And I recognize in America there's always this problem, right? That your East Coast players and your West Coast players, just because of the sheer distance, you may not ever
Yeah,
meet.
yeah.
So they kind of came up with this system, which I thought was okay, where we had fairish representation across America.
It was tough. I want to do better. I mean, I always want to do better, right? I want to do better this time around. I think we have a little bit more leeway to
Yeah,
build
and you've
something a
got
little
more
more
time
structured.
now.
Yeah, more time.
Yeah, and
It's a
I'm hoping to
challenge.
I'm hoping to see more global qualifiers though. So if you went to a
Yeah.
qualifier in America as a European, you could take that seat, just like how we had in Paris. We had a qualifier in Paris. We had a qualifier in London for 2022. Well, it was 2020 at that time, but for the Vienna event. And if you could have come to that as an American and won the seat.
I think that was the other interesting thing that made it a little bit tougher was like in 2014 there was very little infrastructure in America. End of story. Like it was just kind of we I found all the videos of the online qualifier we did for 2014.
Oh, really? Wow.
Of me and you and shoot Xkime was there.
Yeah.
And then for 2017, because it was in America, it was so easy for people to go. And that's the other challenge is now when things are not in America, it's a double challenge of like who's qualified to go, which is like a skill consideration. And then there's like who can take the time to go, which again, I would love to be able to say that that's everyone can do it, but some people have
No,
work,
I
some
mean
people have financial
we've seen a
challenges,
big
like it's not always
reduction.
easy.
Yeah, we saw a big reduction in 2022 of Americans who were
Yeah.
interested and able to
Yeah.
come.
Yeah, for Vegas, it was like so many people, and it was great. It was a great time. So it's another hurdle to manage, and that's where we start to look into things like, how do we
Yeah.
get that kind of back? Let's see what we got moving forward. Paris was a fun tournament. I liked Paris. I had a good time there. Oh, here's UI in 2017, a bit more animated. This is another like down the row of tables
It's like
shots.
2017. Yeah, it was
I'm
2017.
pretty sure
Yeah.
it's 2017.
His hair just looks so nice. No, that's not 2017. That's
Oh, you're right, because no one's wearing name tags.
no. It can't be the net Dutch event. Jamie didn't
No,
come.
it might be 2017. You can't see if there are name tags. These
I
doors
don't
look
know, but
familiar.
he's got his. It might be. It must be 20. You must be 2017. Okay, you're right. It must be
It
2017. I
must
can't
be.
think. Yes, look, there's a piece of carpet there, right in the very right hand side. That's the
Oh,
carpet.
here's our good friend. I
Oh, we
haven't seen
miss
him in a long
him.
time.
I
I do miss him.
know. He was
I
so
don't know how much I want to
wonderful.
like out him or ID him.
No, I'm not gonna. I don't want to ID
No,
him, but
this is a good friend of ours.
if you meet this gentleman, he's one of the most
Give him a
wonderful
hearty
people in the
handshake.
world.
He's a
Yeah,
wonderful person.
yeah. And he's a great mahjong player as well. He
That's
really
also
is.
true. Here's more 2017, table 11. Boy playing mahjong. Oh, yes. I was going to thank you for giving me that tip about taking the train through the Alps to Zurich. It was a wonderful time.
Oh, good.
And
I thought it was going to be a. I got to thank you for this terrible, shitty thing you've done for
no,
me.
no, no. This is a legitimate thank you. I had a great time. It was really fun to hang out in Zurich. I had a wonderful experience. And thank you so much for. Because otherwise, I wouldn't have even thought of it. So tipping me off of that, I super appreciate that.
Well, if Elon Musk had his way, they'd just put a tunnel through the Alps, and you have to drive your car through it. Your shitty, shitty car.
So this is more 2017. This is, you can see a little bit more if you weren't there. If you're there, you know. But the structure of how these things were divided up into two segments, and we had those timers
Yeah,
I had
because
to make. Good lord.
this was the final one, right? Because this is where we took these the two last two I'm trying to play simultaneously. Because we took the divider down, because you can see the dividers down, and that little
Yeah.
where the divider is, that's where JPML
The
were
filming
doing
room. They
their
made a little filming
commentary.
room
Yeah,
in there for filming.
they
the
did. They
commentary.
like made themselves a little nest and kind of bedded in.
It's so long. Here's Kaicho.
Hey, Mr. Moriyama.
Murayama
He's
here.
wonderful.
He's got a nice tie
I want to
bar.
say that's my back as well, actually, because that looks like my hair with my ear poking out.
It might be. And it's
Yeah.
JPML Tomb of Content. Yes. yes. Oh, I have to go visit Moriyama-san at some point in the next month or two.
I know. He was on the phone the other day to me because he's talking about 2025. These people do not
Already planning.
Yeah,
for it.
yeah. They were already like, right, we're gonna sort this out, and he's just wonderful, just laughing at me basically, and how I'm an idiot. I love it.
COVID was the worst. I'm so glad the world is
Yeah.
somewhat normal again. I know this guy. This is what's it called? North American Open.
That's the North American
North
Open.
American
Yes.
Open 2018. This is down in the Downtown Association. This is a good friend of mine wearing he's wearing the Haku pin.
He did really well at 2022 as well.
Yeah. He made it up to the top 16. And then we had the American Sacrifice Conga line, where it was like one American would lose, and then another American would get forward, and it kept like getting cut and cut until we ran out of Americans to cut. But yeah, we had a
America did well this time, though. I think,
America
right?
showed pretty well. To be not to talk badly about America, but I will say Jen and Garth counted themselves as Americans. And Daisuke also counts himself as an American, which he has every right to do. All three of them have every right to do that. I'm not denationalizing them.
They have to pay taxes to your country, so they should get to play as your country.
I'll take it. I'll
No
take the
taxation
success.
without
I mean,
representation. So taxation means representation.
the better America does, the happier I am. But it's true that like three of the Americans who made it to the top were also like pro players.
Well,
it's
funny? It's funny. Despite America having this lack of infrastructure, America has produced these people who go to become professionals in Japan. I'm the only European professional in Japan, right?
Well, maybe that just means that Europe has like social security nets and like a place people don't have to flee to go play mahjong in another country.
It's true. I mean, if you really, really like mahjong, you can really, really like mahjong in Europe. It's quite easy. It might be harder in Japan. I don't know. In Japan, in States. I don't know. I'm not talking bad about it.
But this gentleman in 2022, as was my supreme pleasure to witness, won an all green. So I'm just gonna broadcast that. And if we're talking about easy Yakuman and hard Yakuman,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
green's a rough one.
All green is the sort of one that yeah, that's the sort of one that you dream of.
Yeah, wonderful times. These are the North American Open trophies. You love this. You can be happy and see that we got trophies. In
I just don't
retrospect,
understand why that black one is like
I
so tiny
also
on that huge plinth.
I will be honest, I did not in any way imagine it was going to be like that.
But I like medals. I don't think we see enough
I
medals.
think
And I
medals are.
like
I know
medals.
people have done
Yeah.
medals. It's not only us here at Monarch. Canada's been doing quite well, and you represented Canada quite well. So it's good to see. It's good to see all the positive. It's good to see all the positive North America. I just try not to speak for North America anymore because Canada has its own governing body. I don't want to step on their toes. I know Canadians are notoriously litigious.
Oh.
Flat looks at
I'm
the eye.
sorry.
A little bit.
Yeah, it does.
Bit. Well, the NAO. Hopefully we can do the NAO. These are our top 4 NAOs. You can see our champions and whatnot.
There you
There's a lot
are.
of NAO pictures. Yeah, there's.
I like this kind of Hogwarts scarf here. Is that an actual Hogwarts scarf or is it just a nice scarf? But it's because you got the Harry Potter style background as well.
Yeah, well, we're in
Like,
the Downtown Association, which is very like old school social club.
Unfortunately, the guy who won the black champion trophy, is wearing a black shirt.
Yeah, it makes it a little hard to see. This is a mixture of
it's
diversity and
Gryffindor.
NAO
It's
stuff.
Gryffindor. Okay, yeah.
This is 2022.
This is 2022. This is the Ukrainian team, and they were having an interview of Edwin there. So Edwin is the guy who runs the American Reaching Mahjong League, right? I've said that right. Armo. American Reaching. Said, and Edwin is super popular in Japan actually because he loves Japanese baseball and he knows all this really like. I'm gonna call it nerdy, but in the nicest possible way.
Esoteric. You can say the esoteric trivia.
Yes, he knows his stuff, and at one point they managed to convince him to sing like baseball chants.
They always make him sing his baseball songs on stream.
They love him anyway. So anyway, he's a great character. Again, if you meet him or if you have a chance to participate in the American Reaching Mahjong League, which is on Tenho, you should definitely take the opportunity. Yes. Anyway, here he is entertaining the beautiful ladies from the Ukraine, and the lady in the middle, and I've forgotten her name. Anna, yes, Anna Zemenko. Sorry, thank you. Yeah, so she did very well and got to the final table.
Yeah. Oh no, Anna did extraordinarily well. Like. When I say extraordinary, it's not I'm shocked she did that well. It's just she did very, very, very well. Like it was amazing. Like and it was kind of one of the stories of 2022. I think was everyone watching and seeing how far they'd all get. They did. All 3 of those ladies did incredibly well. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, it's Martin Rep. It's probably from our interview with Martin Rep. Yes. So many of you might not know who Martin Rep is because he's been a little bit like out of the scene for a while. But Martin Rep was involved with a lot of the more. I think how early on was he involved in EMA?
Oh, you know what? He was there before I turned up, so that's a long, long time ago now.
He's one of like the founding fathers of the Western mahjong scene. I'd say.
Yeah, I mean he was. So I first met him because he was really pushing to hold a European Ricci Championship. So I first met him as part of that, I guess. May have before. Anyway, that was when we started really working together.
Yeah, and he ran Mahjong News, which was like the Mahjong News website for a very long time. He tracked all tournament results.
I don't think Martin Rep wrote a book.
You think Martin Rep wrote a book?
No, I think you're thinking Scott Miller.
Scott Miller wrote some books.
Scott Miller is another white dude with gray hair. But Scott Miller is American, and Martin Rep is Dutch.
Tom Sloper is another person who did a lot of mahjong. Yeah, Tom Sloper did a lot of mahjong work. Tom Sloper is an American. He did a lot of mahjong work way back in history as well. He had like a website about mahjong that was kind of definitive for a long time, and he covered many different rules. So you might be thinking, really Martin wrote the big
book of mahjong.
Let's find out. Let me look.
I'm almost embarrassed. I don't know about this. Anyway, yeah. So Martin Rep though he did found the he founded Mahjong News, which unfortunately has been demised.
There's a different Rep who wrote the great mahjong book History, Lore, and Play.
Yeah, that's
JELTE Rep.
I
don't know who that is.
Huh.
You own the book. Well, if you own the book, I'd love to see anything about it because I didn't know he wrote a book. I'm looking for now just Martin Rep book. Clean Architecture: A Craftsman's Guide to Software. George R. Martin. I can guarantee Martin Rep has written more than him lately. I don't know. No,
Yeah.
I'd love. Yeah, if you, it was Jell. Okay, it was Jell. Okay.
I'm not sure who. Yeah, it's probably pronounced Yetta.
Yet,
Do you
forgive
know?
me, all of Europe, for my mangling of your names. I'm really bad at it.
But I'm also going to suggest that I don't Yelta. I don't know. I'm not sure if that's. I don't know. Anyway, but yes, and he was the founder. He likes to call himself the framer, but I like to call him the founder of WRC.
WRC. Yeah,
All the
you know,
way
yeah.
back in 2013.
Oh God, it's all his fault.
It is all his fault.
He made it all happen. I know, no problem with the detour. It's good to know these. It's good to know these
Yeah,
things.
I was about to say this stream is all about detours. We're not
75%
detouring.
finished. Winds of Winter will be done one day when I die. This is this 2017?
That's 2022 now.
Yeah, because the background's 2022. We're congratulating.
And everyone's wearing face masks, so.
Yes, yeah. This is before Garth's infamous photo. I feel like it was around that same time. Is this our 20?
Yeah.
Is this our 20?
Yeah, they're announcing the top 32.
Yeah, people are just being excited as people for everyone who made it up there. And here's this is more of everyone. I think this is during the announcement time.
Yeah.
Of everyone being in the room and being hyped to see who's gonna get good. Oh, and this is our previous.
That's 2017.
This is 2017?
Yeah, that's our lineup.
Oh.
I might have to. You've got about 5 more minutes of my time, guys.
Oh. All right, let's scoot.
I apologize.
See if we can make it through all these photos.
I'd forgotten that this was 2 hours, not 1
hour. This is 2017. This is Tomotage accepting after the patch.
He put that photo up and I'm pissed off. Yeah.
All right, I am very smart all the time and only have good ideas. And that jacket patch thing was a good idea, I think.
It was a good idea. My poor mum will never forgive herself for
So again, for those of you who don't know, I might as well tell the story quickly. Well, this is going to be Gemma's last 5 minutes. It's a story of Dave's great idea being ruined. So we're trying to think like what we can give to people as trophies, because like trophies are cool. But I think one of the things that was mentioned was all the trophies get taken by JPML to like be put in their hall of trophies. And so like, it's great to get a trophy. What else can you give to people that's kind of neat? And at the time, what I thought I was looking at golf, and I was like, when you're in some of these Golf Masters tournaments, you get a jacket to wear, like a special jacket that shows that you're in the Golf Masters tournament. Like, we should do that so that everyone who's made it to like a top table at WRC or something, the top 4, gets like a WRC jacket with like a patch or something on it. And that was the original plan. And we kind of made a prototype jacket because we didn't know who was going to win for them to put on at this point. And we got a patch, a WRC patch. I still have a bunch more of those, by the way. And we attempted to affix the patch to the jacket to make it so that it worked right. And we got through this whole ceremony with Mr. Tomotage. He was the winner. He came up. He put the jacket on. He was all doing this, that, and the other thing. He takes a bow. And, of course, on live television, the iron-on patch falls off the jacket. So he has to pick it up, and he tucks it into his pocket, as you can see. And we're all kind of mortified. But to his immense credit, the dude just like laughs with it and runs with it. Like he totally goes with it. He makes it as non-awkward as he possibly can and continues going on. So I love him. He's a really like pleasant, charming sort of guy. I really like him. But and so we kind of, and then we tried working with that idea. Really, the challenge with all of it is it's hard to tailor jackets for everyone. It's hard to make sure everything can be ready for them. So we ended up kind of ditching the idea, at least for now. I still remain like vaguely convinced that it should be brought back in some way, but I'm going to have to earn that with Gemma because otherwise it's like, she doesn't want to repeat it. And yeah, her poor mother who did all the ironing to iron it on now apparently blames herself for the failure.
I think the next photo is the immediate reaction, actually.
Oh, let me see. No, it's another one of us just hanging out.
Oh, right, okay, because here's the next one. Because Jamie did upload that photo.
Oh,
and
no,
I remember thinking, Jamie, look, I even
You're
commented
so
like, why the
aghast.
hell? Why would you put that photo up? I never
So
want to see this again.
I do like this comment here. The badge on the floor. Let's never use this photo.
And when did I comment? Days later, the photo re-emerged. Look, here's Tina Christensen laughing. Right there.
F for respects, indeed. Indeed. All right.
Oh, I just wanted to die. Oh my god.
You're so. I was in that mode of like, well, you got to laugh about it now. There's nothing else that can
For me,
happen
it was
here
like
other
the
than laughing
scene
about
from
it.
Carrie. You're glad I didn't go
Thank
crazy and
you.
like close all the doors and kill you all.
Thank you for following us, Mist Core.
Thank
I
you.
gotta do my good Twitch person. But no, thank you. So I think it's just a war room post. Oof. Oof. Harsh chuckles, but maybe true. So maybe with that, if you need to get going a little early
Yeah,
today.
I'm afraid I have to get going. Yeah, so I have to work out the timings maybe a bit. The problem is, I'll tell you why. It's a problem is because next week we've changed clocks, but you haven't.
I
This is
see.
a little bit of a problem at the moment. So we'll just have to roll with it until
We'll
we're back
figure it
on.
out.
Yeah.
But yes, we are back online. We will be doing this as regularly as we can, week over week over week over week.
We might even do Mahjong Theory, maybe.
Yeah, we might even do Mahjong stuff next time. This was kind of just a walk down memory lane and just seeing how this goes. Thank you all so much for joining us. It is really, really great to be back. Again, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
And hi everyone. It's just so nice to see the familiar names again.
And I might get a, I've literally got my laundry kind of here. I just pull it all out. I might actually have a half decent place to sit as well. That's not
We can get
one
you
of
a
these old
studio.
IKEA things. Yeah, a studio. I need a studio.
A proper studio. All right. So I'll get going for now. Everyone enjoy the rest of your day. Again, good to see all of you. It's really so great to see all of you back.
Thank you.
And hopefully we see you going forward. And next week we'll be doing some actual Mahjong stuff, maybe playing some games, maybe doing some review. One thing before I'm gonna shamelessly self-promote. For those of you who might not be aware, USPML is going to be at PAX Unplugged this December.
Oh, that is a good time.
We are going to be presenting Mahjong. We're going to be teaching Mahjong. We're going to be doing so. We might even be running a tiny tournament there, depending on people's interest levels. So we're going to be there doing stuff. It's going to be great. I think 2 of these photos are.
Was I at this one?
You might have been, because this is actually a PAX East photo. But either way, this is our booth, and we have one, and we'll have one, and it'll be great. So if you're interested in PAX Unplugged, it's a great convention, board game convention, a lot of cool stuff going on. Please do join us. Otherwise, we appreciate your support, and we'll have more event updates as well. For now, thank you all again. Yeah, Nick's going to be running it, so we're going to be working together on hammering out the details over the next couple weeks. So yeah, if you're involved, if you're interested in participating, nag, please. And if you have any exciting Mahjong games or hands or things you want us to take a look at next week, please, you can tweet them to @USPML, and I'll take a look. And we'll.
Dave's just outsourcing the content creation.
I mean, look, if you've got something cool to talk about, I'll happily talk about it. You got to whatever you want. I think the only other thing I'm going to advertise, I'm going to shamelessly plug, is ARML. Everyone's done a great job running it. It's wonderful. It's exciting. They also do a lot of really cool broadcasts, so please watch their broadcasts as well. They broadcast their games, and again, great commentators, good stuff going on there. And we're back. So everyone enjoy your Saturday.
And we still have no closing music.
I swear to God, I will get closing music. That'll be my goal. I will get closing. If I don't get closing music, opening closing music by next week, if I don't have something.
Why don't you just go on Fiverr.com and just get someone to do this for us?
If I don't have something by next week, what can I promise you guys? What do you want? You want me to do a VTuber stream?
Yes, I want you to do a VTuber stream. Yes, I do very much want that. Yes.
Okay, if I don't have something by next week, I promise a VTuber stream.
You have to be like a silly little girl, and you have to be like.
You can pick.
Yes.
The British PM tried this. To be which of the many recent British PMs tried this?
It was bad. You know what? I felt bad for him. So I did. We'll end on this. So Sunak put up his little video. He always does these very polished videos, and he's always looking very handsome because he is, of course, Rishi Dishy. Dishy Rishi. Right.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Anyway, and I don't know if you guys know about Gary Glitter.
Oh.
Infamous. Anyway, so the track that they used is stock music, but it very much sounds like rock and roll. And yeah, I felt sorry for him.
That's a little rough. I felt sorry for that time that Fox News did their cool sports overlay, and they did a thing where they would like, I think I showed this to you. They did the thing would like pan the camera over like the top of a city, and then they take two spots in that and show like team versus team. And I think they had an algorithm that did this over different city pans because they did it over Lower Manhattan, and then team versus team were in the holes left by the World Trade Center. It was
That's worse. That's bad.
not so good. Not a very good look.
Oh, I don't like that.
All right.
Oh, that's the dark. On that dark note, that's why we
Yeah,
don't
on
let
that
AI
dark-
do stuff for us. Include drive our cars, Elon.
Take that, Elon Musk. All right. Thanks, everyone. We're going to
Thanks, guys.
tag out, and we'll see you next week. Bye. For now.
Bye. I really hope you don't have music now.
I'm
Just
gonna
now.
get it. I swear to God.
No, I don't. I want a
I'm gonna get
VTuber stream. No, I want a
I'm gonna
VTuber
get it.
stream.
We'll have it. We'll do it. No VTuber stream.